Hi guys, it's Kathy. I hope you're doing well. So I got a new judge for you today. I think Colorado, although it could be Indiana. I'm not sure. We'll find out when we see him more. But this judge is not a fan of protection orders. I mean, they're okay when they're okay, but she he has a real problem with this one. So let's watch and see why he has a real problem. See what happens.
Who do you live there with?
My parents, Hudson, and my fiance.
All right. And tell us Hudson's date of birth.
It's 0826 of 23.
Issues here today. Physical custody. Dad's not arguing physical custody, so you want physical custody of Hudson, correct?
Yes.
All right. Now the question is whether you can have legal custody. Can the two of you communicate?
No.
You actually have a protective order right now. Again, is that correct?
Yes.
Why do you have a protective order?
Yes, he threatened to kill me.
Is that the only time that there's been violence by Mr. Fouts in the past?
No, he has told me that he killed somebody and he pulled a gun on one of my friends, and I was in the car with him, and he's presented violent behavior towards us.
All right. Now the two of you live together. When did you live together?
I was 3 months pregnant, so it was March.
2023.
2023.
Okay. And how long did you guys live together?
A short period of time. I was due in August, so he would have moved out in July.
All right. Why did he move out?
He stole pain pills from my father after his kidney surgery, and he had presented.
Objection. I think this is based on hearsay.
I guess just to clarify, did he tell you that, ma'am?
Yes.
Okay, objection be overruled. Go ahead.
All right. So he moved out because why?
He's had a pill problem.
All right. How long has he had, to your knowledge, an addiction with the pill problem?
Well, as far as his controlled substance charge has been, I don't even know if he's clean now. So even to this present day, until he's proven clean.
Okay. He's asking for Indiana Penitentiary guidelines, few hours every week with his son. What are you asking the court to order at this time?
Supervised visitation at a facility.
Why is that?
I feel he is violent, and I'm concerned for my son's safety.
Does your son have medical issues?
Yes.
Can you tell the court the medical issues?
Hudson's been lifeline twice for RSV. He has upper respiratory problems, pulmonary issues, bilateral ear infections. He's very susceptible to upper respiratory infections. We are currently seeking help from an ENT to get to the right specialist. He also has dysphagia, which causes choking when eating. So you have to be really restrictive and supervise his eating habits. That's it at this time.
All right. So do you have concerns with smoking taking place over at father's house?
Yes, our PCP instructed to not be around smokers, whether it be on clothing, in a vehicle, in a home. He said that would instigate a
Objection,
flare.
hearsay.
Objection.
Okay. I understand hearsay in a courtroom, but I don't see how, like, when a doctor gives you advice, you have to structure your life around that advice. So I don't know how hearsay, I don't know how that can be hearsay, because the doctor says you're not allowed to do this, this, and this. She wouldn't be allowed to say the child's not allowed to be around smokers. She wouldn't be allowed to say that. A doctor would have to say something like that. So, I mean, I guess you would have to pull doctors into courts all the time, but doctors aren't going to come into court for you. Not like this. They don't have time for that. So, the hearsay rule here, I have issues with, because you have to listen to your doctor.
Be Sting.
When your son was born, can you tell me what happened after he was born?
Hudson was born through C-section. He went bradycardic and was in the NICU. I was medicated. Cody had left us 30 minutes after I had the C-section go to the parking lot, which was not supposed to happen. And then we were in the hospital for 3 days after, and he left frequently throughout those 3 days.
Was there any drug use by Mr. Fowles while you were in the hospital?
Yes.
What drug use?
I know marijuana, and he also said that he did pills, so,
And this is from him telling you, correct?
yes.
Yeah, see, I have a problem with that right there. I doubt he said I did pills. I mean, that's just weird. The way she phrases that, it just doesn't sound believable. No one's going to say, oh, I went and did pills. You know what I mean? I'm not on board. Okay, the marijuana, I'm with her on that. I bet, he probably did. But I don't think that he did pills. Or if he did, she would have said, I had an oxy or whatever.
He mentioned that you had a prior issue with cocaine. Can you tell the court if that's true?
It was not true.
He mentioned do you have any drug issues at this time?
No,
If we were to test you, say, would you be clean?
I would be clear.
He said you have suicidal tendencies, and he elaborated on one instance with a gun. Can you tell us what took place that day?
I was very early on in pregnancy, and I was told that emotions get heightened during pregnancy, and there was a lot going on, and it was a brief moment of weakness, and I sought counseling, was put on medication. I was on Wellbutrin, prescribed by my OBGYN, and I sought counseling and saw a psychiatrist, and I was cleared, and I no longer have any ideation of suicidal thoughts.
So that was one time situation while you were pregnant,
Yes,
and you treated, and everything's fine.
yes.
So, in case you haven't figured it out, this guy looking down his nose at everybody, that's the judge.
Are there any other issues you would like the court to know about the parenting time while you want to supervise at a facility?
I just believe he's violent.
Okay. In regards to your employment, where do you work?
I own a company called Emily's Housekeeping.
When did you start Emily's Housekeeping?
September of 2023, or 2024, sorry.
Okay. And how much do you make per week?
Roughly $500.
They put down 480, so give or take, that's probably correct, right?
Yes,
Last year you only made around $3,000, $4,000, correct?
yes,
Now, have you had conversations with Mr. Fouts about his employment in the past?
yes.
What did he say his income was previously?
I was told around 1,500.
A week?
Yes,
All right. So does it surprise you that he's telling you now he only makes $273 or $360 a week?
yes,
Are you asking the court to impute $1,500 per week for father?
yes.
Do you think it's reasonable that he should put less than the minimum wage down for a child support worksheet?
No,
And he's supporting himself?
yes,
In regards to daycare, is your son in daycare?
yes.
And where at?
Do I have to disclose that information?
I'll withdraw the question. In regards to daycare, how much does that cost?
$370 a week.
All right. Now, you have CCDF?
I do.
All right. Do you anticipate maintaining the CCDF?
Not,
Objection calls for speculation.
It probably is speculation, but if she's going to be asking for payment for that counsel, I require at least he knows where it's going to if there's money's going. Otherwise, I don't grant that. So she's kind of got a choice to make. He has a right to know where money's going.
yes, it's KinderCare.
All right. So,
I don't agree with that one bit. I don't. So, if there's a protection order in place, then, okay, first off, child support, I don't believe the father or the mother who is paying child support needs to know where all that money is going. I just don't. Because when you have children and you're raising them every day, they cost a lot of money. And you know they cost a lot of money. So you know that whatever money is coming into the house, the mother or the father who has the child is paying a lot of money out for those children, for whatever, McDonald's and Nike and school and clothing and medical. So yes, do they need the McDonald's? Do they need Nikes? No, they don't. But I don't think child support should be based on whether they absolutely need that or not. It's your child. It's your baby. So, you pay child support, and whoever has control of that child uses the money for whatever that child needs and wants, and however you want to parent that child. So, making the person who has the child responsible for letting the other parent know where every penny goes is crazy, because children cost X amount of dollars. Children are very expensive. So it's not like, yes, could that mother be using that money to buy herself some boots and highlights? And absolutely, absolutely, yes, she can. But children are expensive, and when you have children, you got to pay for them. She might use that money for whatever. You chose that partner to have a baby with. You still have to pay for your baby. So she just told him where the child is going to daycare, kinder care. She didn't want him to know because she says he's abusive. And what she said before sounded pretty bad. He said he was going to kill me. He pulled out a gun before. But it's not always what it seems. So keep watching.
Karen, how it's $370 a week.
Yes,
Do you anticipate the CCDF going away now that you're gonna have a child support order
yes,
and a father being able to help?
yes,
So that income's gonna push you over the income threshold.
yes.
All right, I'm gonna show you Smart's petitioner exhibit A, and this is your CCDF we provided. I'm sorry, this is your need care we provided, correct?
Yes.
Judge has submitted it.
Any objection to A, counsel?
No, Your Honor.
All right, without objection, Exhibit A be admitted.
Health insurance. Health insurance is paid for.
It's through Hoosier Healthwise, which is state provided.
And taxes. Are you asking the court that you be able to claim your son for tax purposes?
Yes,
To date, have you received any monies from the father?
no,
Are you asking that any child support worksheet or child support order be retroactive to the date of filing the petition of January 9th of 2024?
I'm sorry.
The date are you asking that he be responsible for retroactive child support from the date of filing his petition?
Yes,
Okay, and that's approximately 52 weeks as of today, almost exactly.
That sort of ticks me off too, because he wants to know where all that money's going. He hasn't paid any money. This was a year ago that she filed. And she didn't file if she was getting money. So it was from before then that he hasn't paid anything. And now he wants to know where the money's gone. Well, what about all the money that happened in the last year?
Judge, I believe that's all I have.
All right, Mr. Brittencross.
Yeah, what's your work schedule?
I work Monday through Friday and alternating Sundays,
What hours?
9 to 5, and then on Sundays I work roughly like 9 to 6.
Where do you clean?
I clean all over Indiana. I clean south side, west side, east side, north side.
It is
So
Indiana.
how many hours a week you work?
Roughly like 40, 45. I just had a travel time, which I can help.
All right, your exhibit A shows that the provider rate is $220 per week, is that correct?
It's $370 a week is what I was told.
Okay, if I look at the top box that says voucher number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 10 lines down, it says provider rate $220.
Okay.
So is it actually $220?
Honestly, I'm not sure at this time. I was just told $370 when I asked last week. So if it says a different number, that's probably what it is, and I can have that finalized by the daycare.
Okay, and then it says you receive a weekly subsidy of $218. Does that sound correct?
Yes,
They write off that extra $2.
it's just, well, I don't have any overage, it's paid for. So I would assume,
What time does Hudson typically go to daycare?
roughly between 9 and 10 a.m., just depending on the day.
And what time does it typically get picked up?
It just depends, it could be 4 to 5:30.
Does anyone else reside with you at your parents' house?
Me, my fiance, my parents, and Hudson.
Who's your fiance?
Austin Lamore.
Austin has a couple of felony convictions, is that correct?
I know of one.
Okay, does he have a death conviction as a level 6 felony in 2000?
Of course he has felony convictions. Look at the people, the mates that she chooses. Yes, he does. But I can't be judgmental because, I don't always pick the best ones either.
17,
Yes,
and a burglary conviction is a level 6 felony in 2016.
I think it's the same charge.
Has there been any charges against Cody for battering you?
No,
Did you ever call the police for him battering you?
no,
Did he ever batter
no,
you? So when you say
Yep. He's never, ever, ever, ever hit her in any way, shape, or form. He's never laid hands on her. And she has a protection order out against him. And they're about to say why.
violent behavior, it's not actually violent behavior, is that correct?
I think it's violent behavior, him screaming at me.
So yelling counts as violence in your mind.
I feel in harm's way, so yes,
Okay. So did his words give you black eyes or anything like that?
no,
If the court orders him to have supervised visitation at a facility, are you willing to pay for that?
no,
Have you communicated any of the medical issues regarding your child to Cody?
no,
Is your child on any kind of medication?
not at this time. Oh, yes, he's on albuterol through a nebulizer. It's 5 milliliters every 4 hours as needed.
And who's the provider for that?
It's Brady Kleeman. It's BradyKleeman at Stones Crossing Pediatrics.
And do you know if they could provide Cody with training on that?
I'm not sure.
Have you ever been convicted of any crimes?
No,
When you work on Sunday, what hours do you work?
I normally start around 10 in Greenwood, and then I have to travel to Plainfield, and I finish and get home around 6.
And who watches Hudson while you're working?
His grandparents.
And now everything she says is about to fall apart. She's a liar.
For this witness?
Redirect?
No, to redirect, Judge, I would just submit a child support worksheet, exhibit B. I know the numbers are off, probably what you've heard here today, but I'll submit it. In,
That's
my
fine.
child support worksheet has a 220 for the daycare.
Okay. Mr. Brittany, objection to exhibit B?
No objection on the summary testimony.
All right, so noted. Other witnesses then, Ms. Trovanik?
No, Judge.
Mr. Bonet, do you have any questions for any of the witnesses?
No, Your Honor.
All right, Mr. Britton, any other rebuttal witnesses?
Just real quick. Cody, you want to show you the mark is exhibit 3? Do you recognize that?
Yes, sir, that is my 2022 tax return paperwork. I think.
Okay. And you were asked about whether or not you filed for 2023. Do you have any recollection now?
I don't think so, because if I remember correctly, I was unemployed all the way up to the beginning of 2024.
All right, and so this 2022 tax return shows you making $12,950 in 2022, is that correct?
Yes.
And if I divide that by 52 weeks, that comes up to $249.04. Does that sound accurate?
Yeah.
Move to exhibit 3.
No objection.
Objection to 3.
Yeah, but if you have a kid, you're going to have to show why you only earned that. And then you didn't work at all last year. You have a child. You have to pay for this child.
No.
All right, that objection to 3 be admitted.
All right, and Emily had testified that you were, quote, violent towards her. Did you ever physically harm her in any way?
No, sir.
You guys just argued, is that correct?
Yes, sir.
And sometimes you screamed at her, sometimes she screamed at you, is that accurate?
I believe that 100%. So they get into a fight, and they both scream at each other, and she gets the protection order out against him because he screams at her.
Nothing further.
Cross.
Yeah, Mr. Phelps, do you support yourself or does your girlfriend support
I
you?
support myself.
How much do you pay for the $600 rent?
They have.
Do you pay $300 a month? And you don't know how much you pay for food?
She goes to the grocery store.
How much do you give her for food?
I give her $100 a week.
Okay. What other expenses do you have?
The cell phone bill.
How much does that run you?
That runs me $60 a month.
Utilities?
That's included in my.
Okay. You have no other expenses? All right, nothing further, Judge.
Recross or redirect on that, Mr. Britton?
There.
Okay. All right, guys, I will get to it. I'm going to go look at the protective order as well, see exactly what that was based upon and sent on. Understand that I am not a huge fan of Marion County on how they do protective orders because they basically hand them out to anybody and everybody that walks in a door. I am much more, I do them for the last quarters and I am much more strict on ex parte. I maybe do 1 or 2 every 3 months, if that. This last time I think I did 1. So I do not agree with the way the great state of Indiana, or at least some courts have pushed these out over the years as candy, and I am more restrictive. So let me at least go back and review exactly what they based their finding on. I did not hear, I think Mr. Hoven, correct me if I'm wrong, but there was no hearing on that. It was strictly an ex parte order.
That's yes.
Okay. I will go look back at it. Obviously, there isn't a transcript for me to grab, so I can't do that. I'll just have to look at what was filed. That may help in determining exactly how I'm going to approach this or do this. If there's nothing else, I will get an order out in the next couple of days. Just understand I have an injured son. I'm taking him out to Colorado, back to college here, and have to live with him for several weeks. So maybe delayed a few days in getting this out.
Your Honor, one thing that I don't believe has been addressed is have the parties testified as to whose health insurance the child will be on or what their preference is?
Yeah, the mom basically said the child's on Hoosier Health Wise. I'll always put in that she's in charge since she's going to be the custodial parent. I think we took care of that. However, they both will need to understand that if they have insurance available to them at a reasonable cost, which is less than 5% of their annual income, they do need to get that, or there could be tax ramifications with the federal government down the road. So attorneys can explain that to their parties.
Nothing further, Your Honor.
Thank you, Judge.
Okay. Thanks, folks. I'll get back to you. Appreciate your time.
What a voice that was. I didn't slow it down for him either. I'm sorry, I got my cases mixed up. I thought Dad was gonna pull out a paper that said she had drugs in her system. He didn't. He didn't. That was my bad. When I said she's a liar and everything falls apart, different case. Don't worry, I'm gonna show that in a different clip soon. But yeah. So ex parte protection order is what this was, where she went in front of a judge. He wasn't there. He couldn't defend himself. Judge gave the protection order. So now this judge is going to go look at that whole transcript and see how she got it. Now, she said a few things that I would say is good for a protection order. He said he was going to kill me. He pulled out a gun. But he never defended himself. He never had a chance to say anything. Maybe it was a Nerf gun. Who knows? But this judge just really hates when they give protection orders out like that, which I guess could be bad in a lot of ways, but good in a lot of ways, because sometimes some women do use those as weapons when they're not needed. And if these guys are just yelling at each other, which, look at her, I know that she yells as much as he does, or she at least yells too. So, who knows? Maybe he says ugly words, she doesn't. I don't know. I have no idea. But he didn't put out the order yet. So I don't know how this ends, but I'm pretty sure that protection order is gone. He's not going to get it anymore. Thanks for coming out, guys. Appreciate it. Hope you guys have a great day. See you soon.
Got these life that goes digital dreams. Through the screen, her blue eyes gleam. Wicked humor, sharp as a knife. Her stream sparks electric light. Late night when the world sleeps, she's the friend that always keeps. Giggles roll like thunder loud. She stands out in any crowd. Kathy's laugh cuts through the gloom. Eyes blue like a summer's bloom. Her humor dark and twisted sharp. In a way, there's no alarm. Freedom tales late into the night. Her laughter feels just right. Even when my world turns gray, with a giggle, she lights the way. Her eyes near a sky so blue. In her jokes, there's a truth so true. With each stream, she brings the light. Turns dark days into bright. Kathy's laugh cuts through the gloom. Eyes blue like a summer's bloom. Her humor dark and twisted sharp. In a way, there's no alarm. Streaming tales late into the night. Her laughter feels just right. Even when my world turns gray, with a giggle, she lights the way. Kathy's laugh